Paranormal.
Welcome to Radio Paranormal.
Hello. I think I lost Brandon. Or it didn't.
I forgot to push the buttons because I was dancing to the damn theme song. So I forgot to go ahead and put us up.
Were you watching me be cross-eyed? Because you know that's how we roll.
I was watching you be cross-eyed, but if you look at me close, I don't know. There's some weird things going on with me. Every time I watch our intro, I find out something new. So
yeah, I do. I see something new too, for sure.
I
But
love
the
it.
cross-eyed thing, I can't get over.
Before we get started, since I am from South Carolina,
Yes.
I don't care what your politics is, whatever side you're on. Senator Lindsey Graham was found dead yesterday from an apparent heart attack. And I've known him ever since I was a child. He's been a friend of the family's. I didn't agree with his politics a lot, but it doesn't matter. The man that I grew up with was a decent man and always treated me well. So, kind of sucks what's happening.
Yeah.
But, that just goes to show you life is short, and if you got to call somebody you haven't talked to in a while. You know, talk to them because man, they're here one minute, gone the next. So
Yeah.
I think they're doing flags.
Hello, Susan.
So there's that. So to the Graham family, to his sister, I'm sorry for your loss. So I wanted to cover that because I am from South Carolina, and I would be remiss if I didn't.
Yeah.
But that's all that we're going to mention about anything political or any political person. It's the first time we've done it. Last time we will, unless somebody else passes away.
Right.
So thoughts and prayers go out to the Graham family. And they're from my hometown. I'm sure I'll run into his sister or whatever. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm excited about the show. But first, we got to pay bills, don't we?
We do have to pay bills.
We got to pay some bills.
We have the bills. So, first of all, we have a TikTok page, folks.
God, I'm still working on it.
Yeah. We've only got a couple things uploaded. We're getting the lives up. We'll be uploading episodes. We've got a few things uploaded already, but follow us at Radio Paranormal 1 on TikTok. I did put a link in the comments. So everyone, please support, like, and all of the things. As a matter of fact, I must go support us ourselves. Myself. So I gotta get there too. But I'll be doing that. And then what else? Oh, there's that one thing in the end of the month. That's New
There's
Orleans.
something happening down there in the French Quarter.
It is New Orleans Paracon, July 31st through August 2nd in the Astor Crown Plaza in the French Quarter. First ever Paracon in the French Quarter, much less New Orleans. We do have some packages left. We do have some packages sold out.
Yeah, we do.
And we just sold our first weekend pass with a one-room night add-on that we launched tonight specifically for locals. So you'll take advantage of our block room rate. As long as those are available, we are running out of block rooms, which means that doesn't mean the hotel doesn't have any more rooms.
They have them, however.
They have them, but they are not at our price. That's the difference. So that's sold out. The hotel is not sold out. They have plenty of room for you. And Mr. Brandon, we've sold out, 2 buses for you already?
2?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
I don't understand. Okay. I'm a nobody, so the fact that these are selling out is amazing, guys. Thank you so much. I know you're not doing it for me, but it's going to be fun. So it's the Living Dead package, and I'm sure there'll be add-ons for the investigation too. But
The Living Dead includes the Friday night. We've added a second bus. We called our partner Haunted History Tours, talked to Kalila, worked out a deal with her to add on buses. So we do have a second bus added on. We do also have ghost hunts. Our guest tonight's going to be doing one as well. I believe it's at the Voodoo House.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah. So that one, folks, that one is not getting love. And it's crazy because, first of all, it's only 16 people that's it. If you want something small, there you go. You've got your Paracelebs there. You've got New Orleans Paranormal Society there. We've been going there the second longest out of all of our locations. It is a building on the private current residence of a local Louisiana voodoo priestess. You are never going to get in here without us or the Paracon. This is definitely a once in a lifetime opportunity. So if you see Voodoo House as an add-on, please check it out. And check out those cemetery bus hunts via bus. It's not a bus in the cemetery. The bus takes it to the cemetery.
Yeah, so this bus died in 1872, and we're gonna investigate it in the cemetery. No, what it is, it's gonna be fun. It's a Masonic. Is it a cemetery or a graveyard? I keep forgetting.
Cemetery.
So it's a Masonic cemetery. And I don't really investigate many cemeteries, but I happen to be a master mason as well. So this one intrigues me. I'm going to bring some Masonic trigger items from my lodge and other lodges. We're just going to see what happens. It's going to be fun.
And you also get to go to City Park at night and see our very lovely live oaks. One of them's, I think, over 700 years old. Lots of ceremony and magic around that tree. I went there once with this a custom tour like this and ghost hunt, and we did get some stuff in City Park. It's very magical. So again, this is stuff you won't. These ghost hunts via the bus are only available for the Paracon. This is something we created specifically for the Paracon. So Haunted History does have a Dead of Night cemetery bus tour. That is not this. We partnered with them. We said we want to do something custom. Asked them if we could tweak this and go here and here. Khalil said yes. So this is developed specifically for the Paracon. So you cannot do this any other time. Unless you.
And also, you cannot do a 16-person investigation with our guest this evening. Like how many other times? It's small. It's intimate, and then we have so many other paracelebs. We've got Letriana Terry Brown with Blaine Rohan, and I think Johnny Z may step in and say hey on there. So there's so many different things you get to do. So y'all come on, see us.
Yes, please do. I'll put the link for tickets, NewOrleansParacon.com. Questions, problems booking, I want to customize, call us. And I will put that number in there, but it's 504-321-3366. It is textable. We have had people reach out, which is great. Chris and I, if we can make it happen for you, we're going to do it. You know, that's what we do. We cater. We want people to come and enjoy. We want to fit your schedule as much as we can. So, but come join us. We still got room.
Yeah, heck yeah, come hang out with us. So I'm trying to put up the QR code, but while I try to find that, tell everybody I'm excited. And I don't know much about our guest. I did watch a video, and I fell in love with the dude, even though it's a 10-year-old video. But we'll talk about that because it was amazing. Dude's point on. He knows what he's talking about. I only had to watch one video, and I knew that. So. Yeah.
So tonight we have the privilege. I mean, and I really do mean this because I have met this gentleman in person before. And if you want big teddy bear, vampire, huggy energy, that is this guy.
Just happened. That just happened.
No, right?
Are we supposed to be afraid of vampires?
That's Hollywood. No.
Is it? The Stragoi. I think that's right. That's Romanian. Maybe not. Maybe I just made up a damn word. But let's find out from the expert. Let's welcome Father Sebastiaan to the show. If I can get my mouse working. And there we go.
Get my AirPod in. How you guys doing today?
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on this show. This is gonna be fun.
Lovely to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Good. We are looking forward to have you. First time you've ever been to a Paracon, is that right? Am I wrong? Right.
I've been to Paracons before, but this is the first time I've been a guest at one. I'm usually at horror conventions.
Yeah. Well,
That
we're
makes
very
sense.
honored, very honored for you to come and excited to learn all things true about vampires because we know so much that's not. Thanks, Hollywood. But Hollywood likes to embellish to sell stuff.
Okay,
So-
so I guess let's just ask every vampire fan. Let's just ask the first question. How do you feel about Bram Stoker's Dracula?
The movie or the book?
Let's go with the book and the lore behind it. The movie was,
Well-
I mean, it was fine, but the book's better.
I'm really an Anne Rice fan. Don't tell anybody.
Secret is safe here.
Okay, I've been around Anne Rice's literature my whole life, and I'm a former LARPer. I played Vampire the Masquerade for a couple years. And by the way, Anchor Bell 868 Los Angeles. Good to see you, brother.
He said, "What's up, chat?" So Anne Rice, all right.
So I'm an Anne Rice kid. My mom told me when I was 13 years old that Lestat, Tom Cruise was losing weight to become Lestat. I think it was 13 or 14. She told me in the kitchen. So I read Interview with the Vampire and I hated it. I was like, this book sucks.
Wow. Okay.
But this guy Lestat is pretty cool. Then I read the Vampire Lestat and I was home.
Okay.
Fair. Understood.
Louis was a
Oh.
money bitch.
Touche.
Oh God, agreed.
Agreed.
Yes.
Oh, so I guess real quick, you did a video 10 years ago, and I'm just going to keep talking about it because it was spot on. But you said that there's 4 or 5 different types of individuals that are around the vampirific community. Can you break that down for people? Because it was amazing when you broke it down, and I watched.
Sure. To simplify it, I'd like to say that the vampire community identifies 3 different types of people. And then there's auxiliary people. The real vampire community identifies Sang, Psi, and lifestyle.
Okay.
And Sang is someone who feels the need to drink blood to cover their energy needs. Okay. And there's a dozen different types of them, from med Sangs who are totally not paranormal or supernatural. They just think they need blood, to people that drink blood for a fetish.
Right.
Okay. Then there's Psi vampires, it stands for psychic, who are your typical energy vampires, and there's a whole variety of them. You have your traditional psychic vampires, which are the people that make drama and stress in your life and do that. Then you have ethical psychic vampires. Then you have vampire witches. Then you have energy vampires. And then you have hybrids, which are Sang and Psi. And then you have the lifestylers. And the lifestylers like to incorporate the vampire aesthetic as a philosophy or a fashion statement. And I remember when I was starting out in the vampire community, I was looking for other vampires. And I went into New York, East Village, and I went to a goth club, and they said,
Can I ask? You just said the East. That wouldn't have been the Long Black Veil?
No, this is before Long Black Veil. This was the Bank.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
And I was looking for vampires, so I asked a couple goths where the vampires were, and they were like, goths don't associate with vampires.
Since when?
Since the 90s.
Fair.
So I have a story to go with it. In 1994 or 93, I was in the East Village at a supermarket, and there was this goth guy buying some IPA beer. He had spiky hair. He kind of looked like the villain from the Minions movie.
Fair.
And this little kid was in between us. And I was in camouflage. I was wearing khakis and a polo shirt. And this little kid goes up, pulls in this guy's cardigan, and the guy looks down and he goes, "Yes, child." And he goes, "Are you a vampire?" And he goes, "Vampires don't associate with goths."
Okay.
So no, vampires are fantasy. he picked up his IPA and put it under his arm, and he walked out, and the little kid was like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
And I remember there's a club in London that's famous for goth called Slimelight. And a rumor got out that I was going to throw a Slimelight party in New York, and the owner found out about it, and she flew over from London with a backpack. She said she's going to stay at my house. And I was like, who the fuck is this? And her name is Detty. And she sat me down at a restaurant and pulled out a whole bunch of emails that she printed out. She goes, these are the goths protesting the vampires coming in to take over Slimelight. I want you to know that anybody who gets this kind of reaction needs to come to work for me.
Huh.
So we did 2 Slimelights in New York, and then 9/11 happened.
Oh.
So goths and vampires. So eventually the new generation came up, and vampires and goths are kind of synonymous now. But I remember going to meet this guy named Kurzak in 1994 up in Boston at a club called Man Ray. He threw a party called Hell. And he looked me in the eye and he goes, you are not 400 years old, and you do not drink blood because you don't need it other than a fetish. And I was like, dude, I just asked her for a drink.
I just walked in the door. What the fuck is this about? That's crazy.
So lifestyle vampires wear top hats and Gary Oldman glasses and whatnot. And there's a bunch of them. And so you might meet a Psy vamp or a Sanguine vamp, and they might not dress in the way like Balthazar in New Orleans.
Yep.
He's not always in goth gear.
No. I only
half
see
the time he's not even in a shirt.
Well, I don't want to know. I don't want to see that, but
yeah, well, that's an inside joke. I apologize.
Okay.
he came on and he was shirtless. So
yeah.
Oh,
he
shit.
was like, it's hot. I'm not wearing a shirt. I'm like,
they were like,
right
okay,
on.
interview with the shirtless vampire. Let's go.
All right.
So yeah, that was fun.
Balthazar.
So let me ask you. Okay, so do you fit in any of those categories, or
I do it all. I'm multifaceted.
Okay, got it. So, but if you were to pick one, that can you just pick one that would describe you most days, or
Probably a lifestyle Sang-Sai hybrid.
Okay.
I've done the LARP. I love the LARP. The LARP is great.
I enjoy that.
I love the clans. I love the community of vampires. I would do a couple things to change it in the universe that I would create. But the Vampire the Masquerade has been definitely a big influence on myself and the vampire community.
I would agree. I played the tabletop and then went live action from the very first books that came out. And I don't. Okay, so those of you that are watching that don't know what Vampire the Masquerade is and was, it is a tabletop game. Started out kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's so very similar. You throw dice, you got a character sheet, all that. Well, then it morphed into live action role play or LARPing. And it also that's where I learned the mythology that the werewolves are vampires' enemies, and that played in really good.
That is a creation of Vampire the Masquerade in the World of Darkness.
Right.
Before, when a werewolf become a vampire when they died.
And and I've seen some things where werewolves were the servants of certain vampires in certain lore too. So,
yep.
I mean, yeah. So that it was interesting, but then we got Underworld out of it. I kind of enjoyed that movie.
Do you know White Wolf sued Underworld?
Is that relevant? Because it
was too similar to Vampire the Masquerade.
Well, why didn't they go after Blade? Because when all the elders got together, I could see the Toreador, I could see the Gangrel. You know what I mean?
I don't think White Wolf wanted to fuck with Blade.
That's fair. That's fair.
But I can tell you a story.
Yeah.
When I started getting a little bit of success, I threw a party at a club called Limelight in New York in 1996. And this is when the woman called Susan Walsh disappeared. She disappeared in 1996 around my ball. I had a Tuesday night. I fit 2,800 goths into the Limelight, which is an old church at 666 Avenue. And 2 days later, I got a phone call from this lady named Kitty Boots. And she's like, the Empress of the Imperial Drag Queen Court of New York wants to meet you. And I'm like, who's this? And she said, come to Hell nightclub, Hell bar, which was a gaudy, kitschy bar with all red sequins.
Right.
And she wants to meet you, and she wants to talk to you about a business proposal. So I was like, okay. So the next week after my big vampire ball, I went to Hell, and Kitty Boots, it was right around the corner from Hogs and Heifers. And Kitty Boots met me and walked me down the street into the bar. And there's these beads that, the beads that come down and lock rooms.
Yep.
Forget what they're called. She put them aside, and there she was smoking a cigarette out of a extended cigarette extender with a top hat and curly blonde hair, probably about 35, 40. And she goes, darling, I'm Empress Chichi Valenti, and I would like you to be my vampire son. And I'm like, do tell me. She's like, I'm opening a nightclub called Mother in the fall, and I'd like you to come and run a Wednesday night called Long Black Veil in the Vampire Lounge. And she said, I'll pay you this amount of money to do it and promote it, and we'd like you to be a part of the experience in our family club called Mother. So I was like intrigued, and so Mother became our home, and that's where the centerpiece of the vampire community was for 4 years after that. Everybody who's anybody in the vampire community came to Mother in Long Black Veil.
Wow.
See, I mean, that's why I mentioned Long Black Veil. Even I'm from South Carolina, and even I've heard, way down here of the Long Black Veil and the
LBV.
Yeah, man. So I never got to go up there. I wanted to, but But yeah, that place is still amongst it's Hall of Fame for any vamps that were around back in the 90s.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's crazy. So what's around now as far as vampire clubs?
Well, you have the old goodie, the Anne Rice Vampire Ball in New Orleans, which has gone through many incarnations. Used to be at the State Palace Theater as a big club. I went to the Grand Memnock Ball, which was in 1995 at the St. Elizabeth's Orphanage in the Garden District. And Anne Rice and Kirsten Dunst welcomed everybody that walked through the door.
Oh, wow.
I heard about that.
From a carriage. And you walked in through, that was just the most incredible party I've ever seen. And that inspired me to start the New York Vampire Ball, which eventually became known as Endless Night.
Okay, now we're on the same page. I've heard of Endless Night.
Yep.
And those are all over too. It's not just New Orleans, New York. I heard one in Vegas. Is that right?
We do Vegas every other year
Mm-hmm.
because Vegas, you burn out if you do it every year.
Yeah.
New Orleans is our festival. That's the oldest Endless Night. So we start off in LA on Valentine's Day, and we're doing the Superb Owl this year as a revenge to the Super Bowl.
Nice.
Cult of the Superb Owl.
Okay.
And it's going to be Bohemian Grove. We're trying to get an 8-foot tall disco owl with laser beams coming out of its eyes for the dance floor. But we'll have to see.
You had me at hello. I'm going to have to go to this one.
This is going to be awesome.
The
Super Bowl's on the same day in LA when we normally do our event. So we looked for some reason why to not do it, why we couldn't do it, and nothing came up. And then I was watching What We Do in the Shadows, and they talked about the Superb Owl.
Sorry.
Nice.
And that was just awesome.
Oh, you can make it happen. I mean, LA is big, and other people want to do other stuff.
Then after that, we have Tampa in June on the summer solstice. Then we have Boston. We just moved from Salem to Boston because we outgrew our club in Boston. Oh, in Salem.
Yeah.
We literally couldn't fit any more people in there.
Oh wow.
It was really cool having it in Salem and sold out, but the problem with that is that Salem doesn't have any big clubs. So we only could have it at the Hawthorne Hotel. And Ben and Lex, the owners of Vamp Fangs, run the Boston Vampire Ball now at a new venue called the Royale.
Oh.
And then after that, we have our grand finale, which is New Orleans. And it's been at the House of Blues since 2000. So we're there longer than most of the employees of the House of Blues.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And one of our one of the investigators for New Orleans Paranormal Society, Robert Pryor, he's been to Endless Night. One of his buddies used to DJ it a few years, and he would come with them and help him on the DJ booth. So he said, and Rob is goth, but he is also psychic vampire. I'd known him for years, and I met him at Santo's bar here, which is also kind of gothy, vampy bar in the quarter. And I was going to give him a hug. He goes, "I got to stop you." And he said, "I've stopped you." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, I don't do it on purpose, and I normally control it, but," he said, "I'm a psychic vampire." He said, "I will do my best not to suck your energy dry." I'm like, "Gee, thanks."
And Father Sebastiaan covered that in that video, and he called him ethical psychic or psi-vamp.
Yes.
Yeah, and it makes if when you meet him, you'll get it. He's the sweetest guy. He's so sweet. Chaos magic, vampire, all the things. So yeah. But that was my third vampire person I've met. Only psychic one that I know of. The other two do drink blood. Balthazar's one.
Mm-hmm.
And
we all know that.
And then I have another friend of mine who's in LA right now. I know her by Irena, but I think she goes by Raven. And when I met her, she said that she was a daughter of Father Sebastiaan. So she had studied vampire practices and become a member and all the things. So I got a little education from her on vampires, but I was also told they aren't allowed to talk much about certain things.
What's the first rule of Fight Club?
Don't talk about Fan Club.
Talk about Fight Club.
Well played. So I've never been to New Orleans. I'm looking forward to coming down to this paranormal convention. But ever since I was a kid and I found out that there was such a thing as a fangsmith, I have always wanted a set of fangs. This may be a loaded question, but would you happen to by chance know somebody who's a fangsmith? Will you be fangsmithing at the Paracon?
For select people, if you prove yourself worthy, maybe we'll consider it.
Well played. I like the way you put that. That's kind of how I live my life too. If you earn it, like respect is earned, not given. So
I'll probably bring my fang kit. I'm considering it.
Oh, that would be amazing. I would interview a couple people that have said they want at least one or two that said, "Oh, we want fangs."
Well, send them my way. I'll see what I can do for them.
All right. I'm going to have to go back and remind myself who they are.
Well, as long as it's me, you're fine with it. So
yes,
yeah, no, that would be amazing. But we'll definitely find out when we get down there. But so how do you learn the art of fangsmithing?
Well, it started with me going to my girlfriend going to me, "I want fangs for my prom." And this was 1993. And I was like, okay. So I went to my grandfather, who was an orthodontist, and I said, "Grandpa, can you make me fangs?" And he goes, "Are you a Satanist?" "No fucking way."
Fair.
And
okay.
He didn't say fuck. He only used fuck once in his entire life. And I said, Grandpa, I need these for my prom. And he's like, you don't need them for your prom. And he thought I was weird. So my aunt came to me, who's also a dentist, and said, Sebastiaan, I know a guy. And she introduced me to this dentist. To this day, I keep his name private and secure. And he had me clean dentures for 6 months.
Okay.
So he prepared me to go to the conventions. Then on Christmas Day, 1994, I made my mom a pair of fangs for Christmas.
Oh,
And
nice.
Then I became a professional fangsmith after that. And the fangsmithing, let me make something clear. Fangs don't make you a vampire.
Correct.
But fangs definitely can trigger awakenings.
Yeah.
The awakening is coming out of the coffin when you feel like it. And
Understood.
a lot of these terms got popularized on Long Black Veil. Long Black Veil was opened in the second Wednesday of March in 1997. And I was the host with Althea and Jason, a couple of goths that did Absolution Night on Sundays at this club called CBGB's. And
Love CBGBs. What?
oh man, CBGB's was so cool. And I went and I worked there, and we started the Black Veils. And the Black Veils were first started as the code of conduct for Long Black Veil. And the first one was 18 to enter, 21 to feed. So
Right.
Adults only. The second one was wear all black. Okay. White shirts are okay, and accessories of different colors are fine. The third one, what happens in the club stays in the club. The fourth one was no feeding in the club, only feeding outside the club for sanguine. And then they went on and on. And then Michelle Bellinger took him and rewrote him as 13 Rules of the Community. And then in 2017, I put a book together to finish them and expand them to 600 different veils.
Oh, wow.
So the veils are like apps. You pick and choose what works for you.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
We always stop the podcast and say hi to my mom. That's my
Hi,
mom.
Mom.
Mom, this is another vampire friend of mine. Listen, he's awesome.
I try to be.
Apparently, he's a teddy bear vampire.
You have the best teddy bear energy ever.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, you do have very good energy.
He does.
I've talked. I've talked.
It's my diet.
Oh, that's bloody funny. But like I've met several vampires throughout the years, and I'm going to tell you, you've got the best energy, which is dangerous, I think. Yeah.
Thank you. I was just finishing up the episode 6 of Lestat.
Nice.
Yes, they finally did Lestat properly.
Did they? I haven't watched it. So,
have you watched Interview with the Vampire, the TV show?
I no, because anytime it's a TV show, I just automatically assume it's going to suck if it's an adaptation.
The first season was okay.
Yeah.
The second season was great because it was in Paris. And the third season is Vampire Lestat. So they did Louis' perspective, then Armand's perspective, then Lestat's perspective.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go check that out. Like I fell in love with Lestat. I think as most of the world did when the movie came out. But
yes,
there's more to that character than just in that movie.
Well, in the second season, though, the reporter is the same from the movie, isn't he? The same actor? Am I wrong? Trying to I thought he was. He reminds me of Anthony Bourdain with more hair. But
yes, and Lestat joked about him being like Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, that's what he reminds me of. For sure.
I'm trying to. Normally, I keep it lighthearted, but vampirism and the whole community, like has been part of my life forever. And in South Carolina, there's no place for us to meet up. So this show has introduced me to more vampires than anything. So first of all, thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
But so now I get to ask the questions. When did you know that you were a vampire? Like, I guess you called it your coming out of the coffin, as it were. I love that.
I've always been around the macabre and dark and paranormal. I was in my library at my high school, my grammar school, and I went and I found these Time Life books called Mysteries of the Unknown. And I read them. They're all about ghosts and paranormal and stuff. And my mom told me a story that she was like, "Yep, you had your first ghost encounter when you were 6 months old." And I was like, "What?" And she was living in a farmhouse in San Diego when my dad was deployed in the Navy on the USS Forrestal and Constitution in Midway. And she said that she was sitting in the living room and she saw a boy run across the hall into my room, about 14 years old. So she went in there and she saw this boy dressed in 18th century overalls and a white shirt and messy hair. And he was looking over my crib trying to talk to me, but he didn't make any noise. And she stomped her feet and he didn't respond. And then she went up to him, turned him around, and she ran right through him and right out through the front door. She opened the door and he was standing next to the tree and went behind the tree and disappeared.
Oh, wow.
And the UCLA parapsychological organization came in and they did a seance with him, and they found out that he was hung by the farmer's daughter's father, because he got her pregnant and he thought it was her baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was my first paranormal experience that I don't remember. But my mom's always been a latent psychic. She didn't have control of it, but she does it often. And she introduced me to Anne Rice, and it's just like vampires found me. And I realized I don't like saying this, but I was a psychic vampire. And I prefer living vampire as the term. So I've met everybody that meet in the vampire community. I've met Michelle Bellinger, Don Henry, everybody who's anybody. I actually got, do you remember that show, Madhouse?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
Don Henry the Vampire, I was asked to look at his videos, and they sent me 3 CDs while I was living in Amsterdam, and I picked him out, and so I helped in casting him for a Madhouse, because I was living in Europe at the time. I was in Amsterdam, which was really freaking cool.
I enjoyed Amsterdam. I was in the Marine Corps, so I got to travel, and then Amsterdam, the clubs in Amsterdam are amazing. That's all I have to say. There's no more to say about it, but they're amazing.
They're freaking amazing.
So, what pays the bills for Father Sebastiaan?
I do have a day job, and we can't talk about that.
Fair. So, okay, day job. Nothing wrong with that.
But you've also written a few books, haven't you?
Yes, I wrote Strigabai Sanguinamacon, Path of Vampire Magic, and I wrote Black Veils, Master Vampire Edition. My book, My Vampire Adventures, is coming out on October, and a couple preview copies have come out. I'll bring you a copy when I see you guys.
That'd be awesome. Now, are you going to bring your books with you to the Paracon to sell?
I'm going to try, but I got to mail them there, so I got to find a place to mail them to.
Oh, send Chris a message. There are 2 places. We have 2 options that you could do that.
Okay.
So,
okay, cool. We can handle that offline. Well, that makes that easier.
Yeah, we can. There's 2 places. One right by our house, depending on how early it gets there. And then there's always the hotel. But there's a receiving postal thing close to our, like just about 3 blocks from our house. So we can always walk over there and grab them for you.
Thank you. I'll order them right away.
So, okay. my friend in California and talking to the lovely Patty Negri, which we all can agree we just love her, talks about the beauty. Both of them have told me about the beauty of vampire magic and vampire practices. And vampire practices, I guess, is the title of the class that people can attend at the Paracon. So can you give us any kind of rundown of talk about the beauty or talk about the class? Because I want to see if my understanding is accurate or not.
Vampire magic is metaphysical and non-metaphysical. The metaphysical side is called the night side, and the practical side is called the day side. Okay. And what you do is you divide things in between the two. Sleight of hand magic, costuming, plastic fangs, the atmosphere, the costumes, the candelabras, that's all day side stuff.
Got it.
Okay. And the night side is the magical world. Okay. Astral projection, energy feeding. So dayside sanguine vampires who are med-sangs can be dayside.
Okay.
And then night side vampires are usually the energetic magical side. So
that makes sense.
Vampire magic covers both areas. So for example, fangs are a form of vampire magic. And they do 4 things. Would you like to know?
Yes, please.
So fangs are really cool because they're a magic trick. They feel so real to you and so real to the person that's looking at you or you're nibbling on. Okay, I never suggest breaking the skin with them because human saliva is dirty as fuck.
Correct.
So what happens is that they're psychologically like a magic trick. Okay, they have the same effect. People are wondered, like they see you with fangs in a bar and they're like, wow, that's awesome. And fangs you can wear with anything. You can wear it in your track suit. You can wear it in a t-shirt. You could be naked. You could be clothed. You could be a hippie. You can be anything. You can be well-dressed. Fangs go with everything. The second thing is they're a connection to your primal nature. So people that wear them like the growl and hiss and howl and dance under the moon and all that stuff. The third thing is that they are they're a mask. Psychologically, it's like wearing a mask.
Fair.
And you feel different. You react differently when you have them on. And then the fourth thing is they're a sex toy. Everybody wants to kiss with their fangs on.
I was going to say, I had a pair of the plastic ones that when you move your tongue across the top of your mouth, it would make the fangs come down.
Oh, that's awesome.
You could retract them. And on the sexual side, it's true. Like there's something about those fangs sliding down and, I mean, it's true. And it's a different kind of sexual energy. It's, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, you're right about those fangs.
Yep.
Interesting.
Very delicious.
Chris is going to be asking you for fangs.
So we call the glamour of vampirism. The glamour is like an illusion. The fangs are part of the glamour, which is a dayside vampire thing. And the dayside is defined by the experience of the 5 senses.
Okay.
Smell, touch, taste, hearing, and what's the other one?
Sight. Okay.
That makes sense. So I guess let's say the day side would be Broadway. If I think, okay, I got it.
You got to pay your taxes and your bills.
Yep.
You can't get away from that.
Right.
So then we have the night side. So tell me if this information that I received from someone is correct or incorrect. I guess the basis of nighttime, the metaphysical, is what I was told has roots in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. True.
I would say more Mesopotamia.
Okay.
There were vampire-like beings in Mesopotamia called Lilitu,
Mhm.
which were kind of like succubuses. They evolved into Lilith in the 14th century with the Zor. Then in Egypt, there's a thing called a Ka spirit, where the Ka is your vital essence and your Ba is your identity in that life.
Right.
And when you die, your family has to bring you food and sustenance and stuff like that. And if they don't, the Ka spirit will wake up and go after the family members, just like old vampires. But they're more like a psychic vampire.
So because I read that maybe it was the Egyptian god Set, and his whole battle with Osiris, and I'm trying to remember if it was Set, wasn't it, or Thoth?
It was Seth.
Yeah.
Seth.
Yeah, that it also, that there was some mythology there about the immortal side of it because of that whole situation with those.
No, that really had nothing to do with vampires.
That was just okay. That's because I thought that was some of the information. Some more Mesopotamian. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, more Mesopotamia, but there were vampire-like spirits in ancient Egypt. But Egyptian scholars will say that Anne Rice tied together Egyptian vampires with Akasha.
Okay, I don't know that I would have seen that in her stuff.
Yeah,
Brandon, we can't hear
Queen of the
you.
Damned was all about it.
Yeah, I could see that now that you mention it, because there is a lot of, thank you, Jen. There's a lot of Egyptian and Sumerian iconography in that movie. So yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, there were more Sumerian, more Mesopotamia. Vampires until the 19th century with Polydorus the Vampire, Lord Ruthven, didn't have like an identity. They were like zombies that drank blood, or evil spirits that would come to you.
So where do you think Hollywood gets this portrayal? I have my theories, but where do you think Hollywood comes up with these portrayals of
Dracula? So let me leave you with this. There are three great vampire mythologies. The first one was Dracula, which was the accumulation of Carmilla, Barney the Vampire, Lord Ruthven. The 19th century Victorian vampires kind of evolved into Dracula. Then Dracula became the king of the vampires until Lestat took it over in 1975, because Lestat to me is the most awesome vampire.
Agreed.
Anne Rice wrote a vampire story that vampires do not believe in God. They've seen no evidence of God, so they're atheists. And Anne Rice came out with Vampire Lestat in 1984, I think. I could be wrong. In 1988, she came out with Queen of the Damned. And Akasha is Hindu for spirit. It's the fifth element. And Akasha in the book canon, she comes from Persia. She's Persian and meets Ankle and marries Ankle. And she is the connection between Egypt and vampires. Before there was really no connection. So the second great vampire mythology is Anne Rice, because she introduced a whole new dynamic to vampires being like angelic. And then the third great mythology was Vampire the Masquerade, which took all mythologies of vampire and put it into one universe.
Yep. And expanded on that universe. Oh yeah. Again, I could talk a lot about Vampire the Masquerade, but because I was there from the beginning. But I mean, it's just the way that it expanded. And we mentioned it a little bit ago that White Wolf was suing people because they were taking the mythology that they had created. I mean, Blade took it. Yeah, Blade took it. But
we're thinking alike, brother.
Yes, sir. I mean, so
by the way, I got raised a Master Mason in last February.
Oh, well, so you have been so taken and accepted, my brother.
It begins in my heart.
Well, we have a lot in common, my friend. I'm so glad that we have made our acquaintance known.
Maybe we sneak you into the cemetery.
That'd be fun. I've been there
Yeah, come on.
before, but I wasn't a Mason yet.
Dude,
Okay.
come on, man! Like I'm excited about it too. So I'm bringing my coin and my Bible, the
Awesome.
two that. So and we're just gonna see. But dude, you're more than welcome to come along if you'd like to.
Yeah, get my number from Chris.
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
present it to him.
Yeah.
All right. I have a theory of where all of this fang biting, blood consumption, all that comes from. Tell people, because people go on, come to New Orleans. Chris and I are with the general public all the time. They're like, are there really vampires? Yes, I know a few, and I'm friends with them, and they're lovely people. And they ask about the blood consumption. They ask about, well, do they bite people? I said, well, it's consensual. There's a process. But do you think it's reasonable to assume that throughout history, maybe permission wasn't asked? Because I think
Absolutely.
vampires
People are really shocked that people would have like really hardcore dominant things. I mean, just think about it. It's been less than 100 years that women have had the right to vote.
right.
And
you can file your own teeth.
I don't suggest that.
No, but it's
go to the dentist and get a composite.
God, it's making my brain do that scrapey thing when you're just talking about doing. Oh.
But if you think about way back when, they could have probably just
Absolutely.
Sure. I mean, no, we don't suggest that now. We did a lot of very bad ideas back then, but we still did them.
Well, and there was a certain incident, I believe, in the late 90s that changed the way that vampires here in the U.S. are viewed. And I think the court case I'm talking about with Vampire the Masquerade.
Rod Farrell.
Yeah. So the vampire murders that took place. They were sanguine, or he was. He was.
I don't know too much about that.
This is just from reports that I remember, but they put it bad on the vampire community that we're like, you're all like this. After
for a long time, we didn't talk about blood drinking because it was. Let's get down to the thing about sanguine vampirism.
Yep.
Sanguine vampirism is very difficult to protect against STDs unless you trust your donor and you've got donors and donor has been tested and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I prefer monogamous couples.
Fair.
And I have a couple donors that are monogamous couples, one partner in there. And that's really the safest place for lesbians.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So is it okay? I've heard this too. In your back is generally where it's easiest.
Yes.
Like for a woman, it'd be like your bra line.
Her bra line or underneath her shoulder blade.
Yeah. Okay. So
interesting.
Consistency.
Feeding is taking energy one way. Communion is exchanging energy.
Right.
So for your donors, do you have a specific, do you want them to eat a certain diet or?
No.
Okay.
Blood type.
Oh yeah, good call. Blood type.
Typo negative is my favorite. And my
favorite band too, yeah.
You know what was funny is when I started making fangs, I went to the Dark Shadows Festival in New York in 1995, and I met a beautiful girl named Sandy who was dressed in a Wednesday Addams outfit. She was 30 and I was 19. And I go, what do you do? While when you're making fangs, you ask them what they do. And she says, I'm a publicist for Roadrunner Records, and I do the publicity for Typo Negative. And I was like, you're my new girlfriend. She's like, no, I'm not, because I live in LA.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, fuck. But we had a great time, and she brought me to the Anne Rice Ball.
Well, that's cool. I almost had a trip in 95 to come up to New York, and I was just going to go around every park in New York until I found Peter, because he still worked for the park system till the day he died.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he never quit the park system. So,
Oh, shit.
yeah, I mean, he was a cool guy. He did a lot of charities that nobody knew about. But yeah, Peter
He's a
Steele.
cool guy. And when I walk up to him, my forehead met his chin.
Oh, I believe
Oh,
it.
wait, Brandon, you don't understand. Father Sebastiaan is not a short gentleman.
Well, no, but
He is not a gnome vampire.
Peter Steele was a beast too, though.
He's like 6'7".
Yeah, like
He would
500
look down at
pounds,
me.
solid muscle.
He'd look down at me and he'd be like, "Hi, thing guy."
That sounds about right. So we got about 5 minutes left. Where can people find you online and order books and give you all their money?
Endlessnight.com is my main website. That's for my events. And then FatherSebastiaan.com. There's 2 A's in the end. So if you want to join my cult of plastic teeth, that's the way to do it. I get the cult leader rap all the time.
Well, I mean, you are quite charismatic, and that's the number one qualifying factor for a cult leader.
If I was a real cult leader, I'd be a lot richer.
Right.
Sorry, I corrected my. I don't know.
I was like Esteban. Who the fuck is Esteban?
Father Esteban. That is his Latin coalition of vampires. FatherEsteban.com.
So if people cannot wait to see you until like 2 weeks from now, do you have any events coming up prior to the New Orleans Paracon?
Nope, just the New Orleans Paracon. I'm coming right there.
Well, I guess you guys need to get your tickets and come out and meet Father Sebastiaan.
You do, and you
Cool.
need to take his class, Vampire Practices. It's on Friday and Saturday. So you can register when you get there. You can register ahead of time and get those classes. Living Dead, you do get 2 paid classes, so workshops are free. So you'll be on the Vampire Panel Workshop, which everyone gets to talk to you and a few other vampires.
I'll be sitting in on that one. I can't wait for that.
And then we'll have Vampire Practices as a class that's paid for people who want to learn a little bit more. Listen, best thing you can do in the paranormal community is educate yourself.
Yes.
Educate yourself. And this is the time to do it. This is going to be probably a once in a lifetime opportunity to learn about a very beautiful practice that is not Hollywooded well necessarily in a positive light, but it's absolutely misrepresented.
Hollywood cannot touch the beauty that is vampirism.
No,
they can't come close. They
I
can't
disagree.
You think?
I think what we do in the shadows is really beautiful.
Okay, fair. I didn't think about that.
Aaliyah and Queen of the Damned was a crap movie, except for Aaliyah and the soundtrack.
I was going to say, wasn't
That was a
Aaliyah
good soundtrack.
that was before she passed. I saw that before she passed.
And I'll tell you, like the biggest thing, like vampirific wise, that I'm planning on, like